Please welcome your compere of the evening, Mr. Dave Duncan.
Hello, Lancaster. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to try and be cool for that one thing. You'll learn over the course of this night that I am nothing, like nothing, I'm nothing. Do you know that made me sound sad? I'm okay. It's not a very interesting day today, is it? It's February the 19th. Nothing's happening. Was the general theme of this set until I found out literally an hour ago that it's actually Chinese New Year. Not even Chinese. You might have thought I was. You're racist. I don't know why I said that directly into the eyes of my friend Michael, who has been nothing but courteous the entire time I've known him. But that's the kind of vibe we're going for here at season 2. Too hot for TV. Too hot for LA1 TV. You were supposed to be here, hence this suit. And have fucked off. So the general theme is, how dare you? This is, look at how cool I am. I don't have nice shoes. These are butt trainers. But not butt trainers, but these are just trainers. I just wanted to look nice for you people, and I hope I've succeeded. But I want to know what you guys have done on your February the 19th. I already know you. I don't need to speak to you again. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Matt.
Hello, Matt. And what have you done today? Sorry, did you say died? Guys, already! Zombie Matt has arrived, and you plan to eat any of us, or just watch and learn our patterns?
I'll decide.
You'll decide? I think you are a zombie. Higher brain function. Liar and zombie. Hello, madam in the lovely green hair. What's your name?
Harriet.
Hello, Harriet. And what have you done today?
Spent it hungover.
Spent it hungover? Oh, because it was the big night out yesterday, wasn't it? Was that why? Yeah. Big night out, everyone went on. I didn't go. I went and watched Whiplash. So, again, not cool. Just instead of going out drinking, I watched a film about an angry drum man. That's what I've been doing. Hello. I'll talk to you now.
Yeah.
Hello. What's your name, Henry?
Henry.
Hello, Henry. What did you do yesterday?
What did I do yesterday?
That was the question. Come on. This is, every time I click my fingers, a child dies because you haven't answered this question.
Science, I just said.
Just science. What kind of science? All of them?
Yeah.
How many kinds are there? 4?
Yeah.
It checks out. I'll move on.
I've done the calculations, yeah.
Okay, good. We'll work in tandem, and then one day we'll learn all science and stop death. There you go. I'll move towards the back. Hello, sir. What's your name? Good job, Mike. What did you do yesterday?
Travelled home.
Travelled home, but now you're here. What caused this comeback to this dank northeastern town?
Yeah, I was at a funeral.
I'm going to move on from that. Oh, I've been nothing but cruel this whole time. I'll talk to... Hello, Stephen. What have you been up to today, Stephen? Don't just shrug at me, man. But don't just say science as well. What kind of science? Don't say all of them.
Biomedical.
Okay, so why are you looking at me as if that's kind of a thing that everybody should know? Okay, if we've learned anything from tonight, guys, that Stephen here does what kind of science? Is that one of the 4?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, now, I've been wondering about February the 19th, because until today, and I found out that China is celebrating the year of the... There was nothing really going on, so I thought I'd look up some interesting things that happened on February the 19th. And, you got the birthday of Seal. R&B songster Seal. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Michael.
Why did you hesitate?
I was going to give you a fake name.
I wasn't going to ID you. I would have just accepted it. Do you know of Seal, Michael?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Is that your favourite song by him?
favorite song of all time.
Oh, really? What do you love about Kiss from a Rose?
Association with Batman.
Is it because it was on the Batman Forever soundtrack? Film fans. And yeah, it's his birthday today, so if you were to speak to Seal today, what would you say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Also, it's someone else's birthday today. It's not one of yours, I hope. This isn't a massive sting that someone's planned. It is also Ray Winston's birthday. Yeah, Cockney hard man. Ray Winston. Ray Winston is one of those people I found, like, you know he's in films. I can't name any of those films. I'll go back to Henry. Henry, can you name a Ray Winston film for me? Proven my point then, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting someone actually would, and then this bit would fly. Hello, woman next to Henry, who I know is Lizzie. Hello, Lizzie. Do you know any Ray Winston films? My point has been proven time and again. So we've got Seal's birthday, and we've got Ray Winston's birthday, and third is National Mexican Arms Day. So, Ray Winston, Seal, Mexican guy shooting a gun. All links in. Quite how, I don't know. But there we go, February the 19th. It's a special day. I'm going to try and make it a special day. Well, it is already a special day if you're Chinese. But they've had their fun for today. It's almost midnight. It's almost done. So what I'm going to do instead is going to have a fun night of great comedy. We've got 5... They don't look as much as I thought they would. We've got 5 great acts coming up, and what I'm going to do is just put you through the rules of this process. First rule is don't talk to the acts. This is very much a one-way system. If you want to talk to somebody, talk to me. I am friendly, normally. I don't know what's happened tonight. It's the vast pressure of having to live up to Chinese New Year has ruined me. The second rule is if you have a phone, put it on silent. If it goes off, I will pick up, I will answer, whether it be your mother or your friend with benefits, I will answer. Hopefully it's not the same, though, it's not the same call. I will answer and chat about all my cool theories about what February the 19th should be. And then, third rule is, we've got a camera filming this entire thing, not an LA1 TV camera, but a camera filming this entire thing. And if you go through those doors, if you leave for some reason, it makes noise. So if you have to go to get a drink or go to the toilet, hopefully again, not the same thing. Go out that door, creates less noise, nicer video. Yep, so are we ready for my first act? Awesome, so what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to make somebody the patron saint of February the 19th. I'm not letting this go for the whole gig, by the way. This is your theme. So I'm going to pick Michael, since I've spoken to you earlier. Okay, so Michael, when I point to you, you're going to stand up, you're going to clap, and you're going to cheer for our next act. And then everybody is going to join in because you're the patron saint of February the 19th. Do you understand me, Michael?
Yeah, does everyone else understand?
If you want to stand up with Michael, you're allowed to. Yeah? Would you like them to, Michael?
I don't think anyone will, so...
No, do it. Follow your God. Okay, so let's get the show on the road. So, Michael.
Are we well? We good? Marvellous. Now, I tend to find, now the music has stopped, that people tend to overreact, okay, over the teeniest, tiniest, most insignificant of things. Take, for example, the swine flu epidemic. So people went absolutely mental, absolutely crazy. But they did bear in mind the 3 stock rules for when an epidemic occurs. The first is, buy a face mask. You're not going to wear it, you're just going to keep it near like a sort of comfort blanket, and everything will be fine. Secondly, never shake hands with anybody, especially dirty strangers, alright? The way I like to remember it, it's a little bit like that poem, okay? So, red sky at night, shepherd's delight. And instead it's, do they look pasty in the light? Don't shake their hand, they're probably diseased. And thirdly, people panic buy beans. I don't know why people panic buy beans. I had a bit of a think. And I thought it's probably because in the post-apocalypse UK, the people will probably perish before the beans, and they'll have something to pass on to their children. Anyway, the stock rule, the sort of overriding rule, is no human contact. However, there is a place where you can't avoid human contact, and I refer, of course, to the train. So a little bit of background on trains. I'm aware some of you may never have been on one. So first, people never make eye contact. Of course, unless there's an unattended item in the aisle. Then people tend to make eye contact fairly erratically. Secondly, every time the train is coming into a station, people, and I don't know whether it brings good luck, but people will start to frantically press the open door button as though they fear being trapped in that metal hell any longer. And thirdly, the refreshments trolley will only ever arrive at the most inopportune moment. I'm sort of talking about the end of an exciting anecdote. So you'll be saying, do I cut the red wire, the blue wire, the red wire, the blue wire? Would anybody like any tea, coffee, alcohol in the trolley? Which only raises more questions. Why do they sell alcohol on what is in effect your daily commute? I mean, my uncle used to use trains an awful lot and he drank himself into the grave of my grandmother because he turned up to the funeral pissed. That's the background on trains. That's the background on trains, ladies and gentlemen. So, I was actually on a train the other day, and it was incredibly busy, intensely busy, almost uncomfortably so. Now, we were mostly enjoying ourselves, as cramped as we were, until somebody got on at one of the stops. He had little bags under his eyes, a little bit of a sniffle in his nose, when he's instantly branded by everybody on the train as carrying the pig disease. This man was probably infected, and naturally ended up stood opposite me. But the journey continued fine, everything was fine, until the next stop but one. We just had an announcement over the tannoy about unattended items in the aisle, and I was genuinely considering kicking my bag into the aisle, looking shifty, and trying to get some more space to myself on that incredibly busy train. At this moment, Mr. Oink, as we shall now call him, cocked back his head to sneeze. From this moment on, chaos reigned. People frantically started making eye contact, pressing the buttons on either side of the carriage to try and open the door. As the sneeze reached its zenith, the refreshments trolley was thrown into the aisle to form a makeshift barricade as a woman near the back started humming Requiem for a Dream. A man coming out of the toilet saw what was happening, only to kick back at anyone trying to get into his sanctuary. At this moment, I decided to do something truly altruistic and dived on Mr. Oink like a soldier on a snotty hand grenade. I waited until the eruption came and liquid shrapnel filled my face. It was at the same time humiliating and disgusting. But there was only one thing left for me to do. I stood, I said, bless you, and then I went to get a beer from the trolley. Anyway, so recently we had Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day is sort of a time for spontaneous acts of romance. But I like to do my tradition on Valentine's Day. I have something of a tradition. So basically what I do is I get all my teddy bears, alright? I line them up, blindfold them because they're going to go on some blind dates. A bit of whimsy to this. And then what I do is I execute all of them because if I'm not allowed to be happy, why the hell should I? I think part of the problem, part of the root of my unhappiness is the fact I tend to open with that line on first dates. It's not very often I get texted back. But still, anyway, this year I decided to break with tradition and went down to a restaurant. So I got there, the man on the desk was admittedly a little bit confused when I arrived alone, not this, the couple's night, even looking behind me to see whether I had a tiny little man in a holdall. But when he was satisfied that I didn't, he went to see if they even did tables for singles on this, as I say, the couple's night. And it turns out they did, but they didn't have any free. So I ended up sat with another diner who was an elderly lady, who wasn't particularly keen to talk and so needed warming up. So we decided to play a game, looking at the different couples in the restaurant and trying to decide at what stage of their relationship they were at. So obviously you have the first kind of couple, a bit shy, a bit awkward, but just happy to be together. That's love. Then you have the second kind of couple, the long-suffering couple, who will spend some time looking at their partner, but more time eyeing up the cutlery to see how much damage they think they can do with a soup spoon. And thirdly, you have the third kind of couple. They are really incredibly happy to be together and want everybody to know it. Usually characterised by talking loudly or vigorously dry humping on the table, as this couple were. They spent a lot of time looking lovingly into each other's eyes, or rather strangely into mine. At this moment they decided to take a break from their exertions, and as the dry humping male disengaged, he gave me a sly wink. He was fumbling in his pocket, and a waiter was waiting with a camera in the wings. It became obvious that this man wanted to propose to his significant other. Now, I'm not going to say I hated him for his happiness, I'm not going to say I begrudged him for him having a point to his life, but I am going to say that we must bear in mind that at this moment I was stuck with Edith, because that was her name. So, anyway, Edith actually began chatting, and it turned out she was incredibly interesting. She told me some great stories about when she used to fight the Japanese in the war, and everything was great. We came to the end of the meal, and I decided that I wanted to treat this woman. I wanted to give her a Valentine's Day to remember. And for those of you who think that sounds suggestive, shame on you. So anyway, I wanted to pay the bill. So I waited for her to go to the toilet, she stood up and went, and I took my chance. Again, I can't stress enough to go and pay the bill. So I walked over to the desk, and as I got to handing my card over, the hairs on the back of my neck began to prickle upwards. Something wasn't right. Suddenly I heard a bone-chilling cry of "Banzai!" Out of the corner of my eye I saw Edith erupt from behind an ornamental plant display and begin to charge across the room towards me. She had been wearing a shawl, but now was complete army-clad, combat gear all the way. It occurred to me she probably wanted to pay her own bill. I was damned if my nice gesture was going to reach fruition. At this moment, she charged and jumped on top of me. Both of us fell to the ground, and as the screams began, the dry humping couple chose their moment. The dry humping male going down on one knee to propose to the dry humping female. They were oblivious to everything that was going on around them. At that moment, the waiter took his photo, and I can say that I was pleased that I'd ruined that couple's perfect moment forevermore. You see, in the background of that picture, there will forevermore be a geriatric in war paint, wherever that came from, with a student in a chokehold. And whilst it's true, people of Lancaster, that I have for some time wanted to be beaten around a little bit on Valentine's Day, Edith wasn't quite the shade of grey I had in mind.
Andrew McKendrick, everybody! I like when you're talking about the first dates, Andrew. The horrible thing you say to women on your first date. But I mean, first dates are quite hard, aren't they? The last first date I was on was a few years ago. You can tell it was a few years ago because I thought I was going out with this girl and she wanted to be a vet when she grew up. That's a bad choice. Both 18, doesn't make sense. No, she studies veterinary science, and I thought, okay, I know the film. I know the film to take her to. We'll go to see Warhorse. As it turns out, bad choice. Because that horse gets hurt a lot and does not get better quickly. I was going, oh, good film. I'll talk some people about first dates. Hello, people at the back. Hello, because I know that you're a couple. Hello. What are your names?
James and Kate.
Hello, James and Kate. And what did you do for your first date?
We went to Manchester Christmas market.
Went to Manchester Christmas, but that's actually lovely, so, fuck. Right. Did it go badly in any way that I can riff off of?
Oh yeah.
Oh good, okay. Now I'm in business. So what happened?
I killed him.
You killed a man. Only one. I'm gonna... Guys, you know what I said about phones? Fuck that, call the police. But a tacit admission of guilt. Is tacit the word? Hello, madam, who's been going around taking photos. What's your name? Okay, what was the worst first date you've ever been on? You kissed like a fish. But do you mean like kissed like a fish as in the animal, or you were just kissing fishes? A whole bunch. You walk into the restaurant, he's vigorously making out with a mackerel, then you go, yeah, I'm here. Oh! Like a horrible nutcracker. That's horrible. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Luke.
Hello, Luke. Any interesting first dates you've been on?
It wasn't really a date, but we got a long night.
For a while. Were you in some kind of romantic entanglement as well? And by a while, I hope you don't mean like more than a few hours. Was this days? Okay, good, because I didn't want it to come to your wedding day. And you're like, do you, Luke, take Casey? Who? I'll talk to one last person. Hello, Madam Florend, what's your name? Okay, hello Jess. Have you been on any interesting first dates, any weird first dates?
Yeah, I've been on one where the guy didn't talk at all.
He didn't talk at all. How did he ask you out? Was there a carrier pigeon? Perhaps a Jess signal in the sky that you've answered? Okay, and so the whole day. What did you do on this date?
Well, he took me to this Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
And, he was Chinese, so we spoke in Chinese, and I didn't know what that's all he said, really.
Okay, so you only spoke in Chinese. Was he trying to show off his multiculturalism, or?
No clue.
No, we've had a weirdly anti-Chinese slant. If this is your first time here, this is not the theme of this night. It's an accident, I promise. I feel I have to talk to somebody else just so that's not the thing we end on before the next act. Hello, so pick a number between 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, sir, what's your name? Hello, Alex. Any interesting first date stories you have? That's an amazing first. Is that your first date? That's an amazing first date. So don't. Oh. Maybe we've been going out for some time. I think it's about time we watched Emmett Brickworth. What his name? Was it worth it though? Exactly. So there we go. Love is alive. Didn't have to clap that, but I'm glad you did. Okay, we'll go on to our next act, and I will choose you, sir, to be our clapper for this. Good. Please sound enthused. Okay, and I'll bring on our next act. So without further ado, start your clap. All right. Hey, come on, everybody! Hey! My next act is the Jen Huckster.
Good timing. Do you think Hogwarts ever got an Ofsted report? They could probably do with one. I mean, their curriculum is terrible. Every student has the arithmetic and language skills of an 11-year-old muggle. Sure, they might be able to turn a blast-ended scroot into a coffee table, but can they find the length of the hypotenuse? They might be able to kill a man with a single word, but I bet they can't spell onomatopoeia. I bet they can't even say onomatopoeia. I will say one thing about Hogwarts. They've really got knife crime under control. You don't catch any students sneaking a blade in under their cloak. Instead, they just all carry loaded weapons in their pockets. It's the NRA solution. I just also think they're not really setting positive aspirations for the students. They fail to recognise that every pupil has a complex and unique array of emotions. Instead, they just assign them one of 4 personalities when they start, and then they're stuck with it for 7 years. Whilst we're on that topic, Slytherin. What's going on there? I mean, I guess most parents eventually have to come to terms with the fact that their kid's a prick. So at least Hogwarts standardised the process. But come on, Slytherin, you guys are really bad at dealing with your own image problem. I mean, your house ghost literally killed one of the other house ghosts. His name is the Bloody Baron, for God's sake. You'd think that'd be a clue. Can you imagine if you found out that your child had been sorted into Slytherin? Alistair's getting very good grades, top of his class. I was so happy when Eliza got sorted into Hufflepuff. What house is your son in? Ravenclaw? Gryffindor? No, actually he's in, Slytherin. Oh, I didn't know your son was evil! He's not, but he's in Slytherin. Not everyone in Slytherin is a bad person. There they are, look! It says right there on the badge in Latin. Slytherin, for assholes and Nazis. And Snape, I guess. Got any Super Mario fans out here? You're familiar with Wario, right? For those of you who aren't, he's basically like Mario, except fatter, meaner, and yellower. He looks like this. He's a clone, basically. What do you think the design process was on this character? I mean, the red Italian plumber who jumps on tortoises idea was solid gold for a video game protagonist. Why don't we do it again, but make him a different colour? I love it. But what about the name? Mario 2. Super duper Mario. Oh no, he's evil this time! Guys, I've got it. My God. This is why you're the president of our multi-billion-dollar company. What if all authors designed villains with the same rationale as video game developers? Shakespeare didn't need Iago. He could have just created War Othello. What if when God wrote the Bible, instead of having Jesus hang around in the desert trying to resist the temptation of the devil, he just had him have a good old punch-up with War Christ? Moby Dick would have been a lot more fun if Captain Ahab had just shoved a harpoon into Captain Wahab, instead of having to consider the futility of trying to seek revenge on nature, or whatever. So, I was recently filling out a form for a trip to the US, and they asked some interesting questions. They're clearly still very committed to this whole anti-terror thing, trying to make those baddies slip up at every hurdle. And I've got a few examples of the type of questions they ask, and I should point out, I haven't changed these at all. The first one, have you ever ordered, incited, committed, assisted, or otherwise participated in genocide? That's a real question, ladies and gentlemen. What do they think that people who did do those things are going to do when they're filling in the form? Have I ever committed genocide? Actually, now that you mention it, I suppose I have. Guess I better put a tick on the... Oh! You almost got me visa form, you sneaky bugger, you... You'd have to have some pretty warped morals to do these things and then not lie about it. Like, for example, another one says, have you ever engaged in the use or recruitment of child soldiers? Well, duh! Who do you think packed? People talk about the effectiveness of waterboarding, but maybe if you just chuck a form in front of them, they'll tick their way into prison. There's another one, it asked you if you plan on taking part in any terrorism whilst in the US. I don't know. I might do. Not that it's any of their business. It's a violation of my privacy, it is. Asking me if I plan on killing hundreds of innocent people. I tell you what, it's bloody Orwellian, is what it is. To the US Embassy, if you're in the audience, that was a joke. I do not want to blow up your lovely country. Please let me in. Go freedom! So, it was Valentine's Day recently, as I'm sure you've all heard. And I had a great time. Whilst you, insignificant others, were off gallivanting with your significant others, I went to a Lord of the Rings marathon. Frodo's before hoes, right? So, now that I think about it, I guess it's not that different from a lot of other people's Valentine's nights. I mean, it starts off quite pleasant and nice, and then it gets a little bit scary. Then you fall asleep for a few hours in the middle, and when you wake up, it seems to go on for ages and ages, and it feels like it's about to end at least 5 times before it's finally over. And then you forget about all the dull bits and assume it was the best night of your life. They're also both really inappropriate times to get out of the engagement room. The thing about those X-Men, right? They're always saying that we should be proud to be mutants. They think that the idea of a mutant cure is offensive. It's alright for them. It's alright for Wolverine, mister. Oh, I'm so sad because I live forever in the body of a sexy lumberjack. Well, Wolverine, That little X gene manifests in a number of different ways. My mate Sam, he's a mutant. He just has headaches all the time. Does he get to have the cure? Steph's knees fall out. It's a good party piece once, but she can never get them back in again. And what about Joe? He just has a ferret growing out of his arse. Well, Professor X, if they can't have the cure, are they welcome in your school for gifted youngsters, or is it just another Eton? Speaking about people fortuitously blessed with some magic powers, let's talk about the Pope. Is it just me, or does this new guy seem too good to be true? I mean, he's had his fair share of controversy, but for a Pope, he's doing pretty well. It's left me feeling all confused. I'm used to seeing popes dully propagate the same old-fashioned ideals, but this guy seems to be saying too many reasonable things. I think we need another figure. Someone to make me feel comfortably depressed again. What we need is an anti-pope, like they used to have in the olden days. Someone created to challenge the current pope. He just turned up to bother the real pope while he's in meetings. Get a job, hippie! I spoke to Jesus. He says you're a dick. Hey, Pope, chess called. It wants its hat back. And then he can turn up to play little games like Pope Tennis and Pope Kart Double Dash. That would make me a lot more interested in converting Catholicism. If you're listening, I hope you're taking notes. The only real difference between the anti-pope and the pope is that the P on the anti-pope's hat is upside down. And he's always hanging around with his gangly purple brother, the Dalai Lama. Thank you, I've been Jim Hoster.
Jim Hoster, everybody!
Yeah, so we don't take on important topics. Religion, bam. America, bam. Nintendo, oof. They're all getting sued! I think we might as well just go straight on to my next act. So I'm going to pick Henry, who's currently enjoying a nice drink, to be my patron saint of February the 19th. So Henry, I'll point to you and then I shall bring on my next act. So without further ado, Henry!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? Are we good? I know what you're thinking. The Lego version of Robert Pattinson's come to life. Right, let's dissect that joke. Okay, I don't really look that much like Robert Pattinson, but I have been told I look like proportionally similar to a Lego man. To the point, and I quote, someone said my hair looks stuck on. To be honest, that's like a classic opening in comedy, to say you look like a slightly different version of a celebrity, but I don't really look like anyone that well known. So what I've done is compiled a list of factually accurate people I can compare myself to. Hey guys, I know what you're thinking. Looks like a young Henry Fonda's career has taken a turn for the worst. Looks like the Belgian Prime Minister Wilfrid Martens has gotten lost. Looks like the 12th century King of France Louis VI has let himself go. Looks like my dad has had a haircut, lost 4 stone, and become his own son. What I'm trying to say is, first impressions are hard. So what I try and do to get around that, because I'm quite bad with first impressions, is I'll try and lower people's expectations, and then what I'll try and do that is with I'll try and do that by using a combination of mild slapstick and brutal honesty. I've practiced that for 3 months. Now, while that's quite disarming for an audience, I've got to be honest, it is the reason I'm no longer allowed to practice general surgery, or hostage negotiations, or make sweet tender love by democratic decree, which was a lot to learn in one weekend. So yeah, what I've actually decided to do, to like introduce myself to people, I've got a really good technique to it. I used to use icebreakers in my day-to-day life. And the one I normally use is 2 truths and a lie. So I'll tell you 3 facts about myself. 2 are true, 1's a lie. It's a great system. I invented it. Right, and if you want to use it, please make out all the royalties to me at the Ed Colley Foundation. Please, I need the money, right? You've not plumbed the depths of humanity until you've eaten baked beans out of a tin with chopsticks. Little practice round for you there. Chopsticks? Who's got the time for that? I just used my hands. Okay, so I'll get it started. So round 1, fact number 1. I'm 23 years old. Fact number 2, I'm from Nottingham. Fact number 3, I'm a small Lithuanian toddler with dreams of the stage. Okay, so that's the 3rd one's the lie there, because if that were true, I would have lost my accent and love of contemporary tap. Which is still going strong, you'll be glad to hear, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, round 2. So, fact number 1, I live alone. Fact 2, I wear dark clothes a lot and prowl the streets at night in search of vengeance. Fact number 3, I am the Midlands equivalent of Batman. Of course, number 3 there, I can't be Batman for copyright reasons. But I do prowl the street tonight. We love a good prowl the street tonight, don't we? We all prowl the street tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You, sir, you prowl the street tonight, right? Am I right? Yeah, he prowls the street tonight. We all enjoy a good prowl the street tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I live alone. To be honest, the worst part about living alone is flat games nights. I'm not sure if any of you have played one-player Twister. Essentially, it's just a form of yoga that impedes the colourblind. I'll tell you what is worse, one-player Buckaroo. You know that thing where you just have to put plastic pieces on top of another plastic thing, and inevitably, it all just flames in your face? Now, as an evening plan, that's appalling. But as a metaphor for how I lost my virginity, it's startlingly accurate. So yeah, I actually started a new job recently, so that was kind of cool. I've got to admit, like, who's someone who struggles with first interactions, like it's a bit of a minefield. So I've got 3 rules which I'm going to share with you now for getting by on a first day at work, right? So, survival tip number 1, find yourself a work friend, right? Now the way you find yourself a work friend, find one thing that they're really passionate about and feign as much interest as humanly possible. I've done this before, even with things I know very little about. For example, I've done it with, hey, you a fan of the Big British Bake Off? Yeah, the biggest. I do love me a good bake. I really love me a good big bake. Oh yeah, who do you reckon's going to win this year? I reckon the Northern Irish team has a pretty solid chance. Though I wouldn't count out the Welsh. Their icing is coming on leaps and bounds. Second, do you want to find yourself a fire exit? That's obviously in case of fires, but it's in case you actually have to leave any incident as quickly as possible. Say, for example, somebody asked who stole from the supply closet, or why I stole from the supply closet, or why I stole from the supply closet, and then hid the pencils down my pants, when I could have just hid them in a bag, which would have concealed them far better. So, yeah, and then third of all, you want to find yourself a scapegoat. Now, scapegoats are general purpose and can be thrown under any given bus. For example, sir, what's your name? Henry. Alright, what you want to do for this is you want to find a one-syllable name, if preferable. Does anybody ever call you Hen? You, sir, what's your name?
Michael.
Anyone ever call you Mike?
Sure.
Good old Mike here, good old Mike here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any trouble this evening, you can be glad that all responsibility is now put on Mike. You've saved us all. So yeah, those are the 3 rules. And my first day went really well. My boss, he was really friendly, but he did have this thing where he'd give you like a motivational poster on your first day for your office. And you know the ones where you have like a stock image and then like an inspiring caption underneath? Well, the one he gave me said, challenge. Through determination and effort comes success, right? And the picture, for some reason, was of a bear in a river catching the head of a salmon. Now, who is the protagonist in this story? Is it the bear, right? Because he's literally had a whole day in a river splashing about, waiting for his food to come to him, the lazy bastard. Or is it the salmon, who spent the entire season swimming upstream, if only to meet a literally grisly end? What is it meant to mean? What was my boss trying to tell me? Is this about some kind of meaning, that everything is futile, or is that life is meaningless? And what's even worse is the guy next to me, he had a poster about a sunset and a caption about vision, which was equally ironic, because looking into the sun causes blindness. But yeah, like I said, my first day went really well, and I'll leave you with this little story. So my boss and a couple of friends at work, they invited me on a night out, and that went really well. But I've got to admit, it didn't feel as much as like a friendly gesture. It more felt like a socially obligated interview to determine whether or not I'm an arsehole. But thankfully, yeah, it went alright. I was basically walking a tightrope between being drunk enough to seem fun, but sober enough to recall all the lies I told on my CV. To be honest, he did actually ask me about my previous employment on the night out, which is a bit like the current partner asking about the extras. And he kind of whittled me down to the point I was like, why did they get rid of me? I was the best paper boy they ever had. It's okay. We'll give you all the flexi time you need. Thank you, you're so kind. But I do have to ask you one question. Am I the bear or the salmon? What? No, you have to tell me. I need to know. Am I the bear or the salmon? Work friend, back me up. Well, he was sat down. Well, what I think would be actually quite difficult to catch a salmon with your mouth. You were meant to have my back, work friend. We were going to watch the Great British Bake Off together. Now I don't even care if Finland wins. Alright, I think you're a bit weird. We're not going to invite you on another night out. Okay. I'll be honest, I wasn't actually going to say any of this, but Mike put me up to it. Mike, you're fired! Whoa! And all's well that ends well. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been lovely. And I'll leave you with this thought. If you didn't like any of the material I performed tonight, blame Mike. Good night!
Ed Colley, everybody. Okay, we are coming up to a break. We're going to have a break, then we'll come back with two more amazing comedians. But what I would like you to do during this 20-minute, I think it's 20-minute break. 20-minute break. During this 20-minute break, what I would like you to do is come up here. I've put paper, a pen that I actually own, and this cup which I stole. And what I would like you to do is, you know, I talked about February the 19th at the beginning before I got sidetracked. What I'd like you to do is write down what you think, what kind of national holiday do you think should be today, yeah? Not Chinese New Year, we all know it. But just think of one, put it in here, I will read them out, and hopefully just make them as weird as you want. Don't do a picture of a dick. Come on guys, you're better, you're not, you might not be. But I will just say a picture of a dick, and then, I don't know what I'll do with the rest of them. Burn them in a big dicky pile. But yeah, I will see you in 20 minutes. Go get a drink, go walk around, have a smoke, do whatever you want. Bye!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stage. Your compere for the evening, Dave Dick Salad Duncan!
Yeah! Dick Salad, my middle name! Dick Salad? Yes. My name's already David Duncan, that's like 3 Ds. And there's movement over there. What's happening at this show? Right, so you wrote in these things about like, what day February the 19th should be. Are you taking a picture of me? Just moving around. Good job. Okay, so, right, so February the 19th could be, according to this one, Make Michael Dodd's Dance Day. Now, is there a Michael Dodd in this crowd?
No.
Dance.
I'm not going to dance.
Dance. Dance. Dance. Dance.
Michael,
Dance. 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 Yeah. Oh, ruined his day. Okay. February the 19th could be befriending a racist otter in a hat called Humphrey Day. Anybody own a racist otter? No. Then why did you write this? You've not helped me. Come on, guys. Right. It could also be the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. Has he left? No! Damn that brigand! It could also be Dave Duncan Appreciation Day. Go, Dave. The worst bit is that you clearly wrote this as well, just to...
I literally did.
Oh.
That's my genuine feeling.
This man lives with me. I didn't write this. Did I write this? Fight Club 2. It could be Day of the Triffard. Not Day of the Triffid. You've just spelled this wrong. That's bad penmanship. It could be War Christmas. Yeah! Would the War Poke force War Christmas, Jim? Why? Give me nothing, Jim! Okay, could be Jeff Goldblum Day. Yeah, great, we can watch Independence Day and another film I know Jeff Goldblum from. Sorry, you're mouthing something to me, sir. Jurassic Park. Actually, fair point. The Fly. Right, I don't have good film knowledge, guys. Yeah, okay, we'll do 2 more and then I'll bring on my next act. February the 19th could be make all of the theatre group that tweeted during ballroom dancing dance day. This is an in-joke, clearly. Is the theatre group in here, guys?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, they said no. So did you write this, Jack?
Yeah.
Great.
They tried to make me dance, Dave.
Did you dance?
No.
Spoil sport. Right, we'll do 2 more, just so we don't have to advance Jack Maidment's personal vendetta. Feeling sick because you insist on still eating pancakes day. Accurate, truly accurate. I didn't really do pancakes. Just come in, guys, if you want to come in. They didn't, and now they're gone. They still felt sick after those pancakes, and what we said just fucking rolled them up. Sorry, Stephen, I just hit you with that balled up. You keep it. Why? It's nonsense on a piece of paper. Sorry, whoever wrote it. I'm sure you put a lot of thought into that. Did you? I hope you didn't. Go on, these are erotic mastication day. Mastication's chewing, by the way. So, whoever said that, find me off this gig and I'll eat a sandwich. In a real nice way. Don't know who I was looking at with that. Nobody. I'm very sorry, but we should bring on our first act. Are we psyched for this first act? He's there, he's already insulted some of you. So, what I'm going to do is, hello, I'm going to walk into the crowd. Andrew, you've moved. Hello, Andrew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you the spokesperson for Erotic Mastication Day. Thumbs up, good. So when I point at you, you know the shebang, you jump up, you clap, everybody else joins in. Yep, okay, so Andrew, Erotic Mastication!
Thank you. I also do the sound for this. Crisis averted. How are we doing, County? We good? Awesome, awesome. So I'm here tonight to talk to you about the haircut that changed my life. Okay? Yeah, I know. I mean, for the better, you know, because nobody likes a sad haircut story. Because that's just sad. No, like a few weeks ago, I got a haircut. I went from quite long hair to a short sort of crew cut. So basically you could say I went from softcore porn star to career criminal. Like most softcore porn stars. So if anything, I've made the transition of a sex worker, which is something I can tell my parents. Maybe they'll give me more money. So yeah, I got a haircut, and it's awesome having short hair. It's really good. One of the advantages of having short hair is that people you don't know are they either ignore you or they're really, really nice to you because they think you're a thug. They think their life's in danger when you're around them. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking wonderful. I mean, having people afraid of you is like reaching nirvana. It's absolutely fantastic. I'll give you some examples of this. My next door neighbour's kids are now afraid of me, which is always good. Don't like kids, but it's always good having them afraid of you. They used to get up every morning and play in their garden, like kids genuinely do. They'd invite their friends over. It annoyed the shit out of me. Okay? Ever since I got my hair cut, no more playing. They stare at a wall and tremble. Okay? And they're a lot more respectful to me now as well. Every time they see me, they greet me, "Good morning, Mr. Maidment," which is better than, "Haha, it's that fucktard." I don't even know what a fucktard is. I'm guessing it's an amalgamation of the words fuck and retard. I didn't know they were synonymous. Had no idea. Another reason why having short hair and having people afraid of you is good is I went to the supermarket the other day and I was 50 feet short of my weekly shop. And the guy was completely I took my hood off and he was completely understandable. And he actually threw in a free bottle of wine with my shop. And a bag of Cheetos. And a contract allowing me his kidneys when he dies. I hope I don't need them. I don't know what I'll do with them. So. Hey boy. Hey boy. Hey boy. I don't like dogs either. I just feed them men's kidneys. Yeah. A pregnant lady gave up a seat on the bus for me the other day. She was on crutches. This is power I've never known before. I mean, wow, it is kind of amazing. I'm not a bad person. At least I don't think I am. And obviously the hair's growing back now, because a haircut never lasts. The hair grows back. I think it was Oscar Wilde that said that. And so basically, you've got to kind of, if you want people to keep giving you what you want through fear, then you kind of got to keep the look fresh. So I kind of devised a little system here. Yeah, this is the criminal faces of Jack Maidment. Here's the first one. I know, terrifying, right? This is the I'm displeased with what you said about my cause. Prepare for a witty comeback face. The next one is Dave, leave it alone. Dave, what have you done? Yeah, this is the I'm prepared to use physical violence against you. This got me out of a lot of sticky situations, mainly involving pregnant women on the bus. And the third one is the "You want blood?" Yeah, also known as "I will cut you blood" phase. I just think it's nice. I think it's simple and effective, and I use it a lot. Anyway, so I watch people. I watch people, all of you out there. I notice things. People call it intrusive, I call it observant. I write things down. I notice things. I like to eavesdrop, it's more of a passion than a hobby. And I eavesdrop in people's conversations, but I've always found the conversation, the eavesdropping can be very hurtful if the conversation is about you. I was walking down the high street the other day and I was smoking a cigarette. And this mother walked past. She wasn't pregnant, she'd had a child, she was with him. The child was walking beside her. And he obviously caught me smoking and I just turned my head and I could hear in the background, "Mummy, Mummy!" I'm gonna turn that off, that's creepy. There we go, a nice blank screen for you all to stare at. Mummy, Mummy! That man's smoking. Smoking's bad for you, Mummy. I'm never gonna smoke. And the mum, bit presumptuous. He's never gonna smoke. Bit presumptuous, kid. What are you, 7? You say, alright, fine. So then the mother said, no, kid, what, can you see into the future? Well, that's impossible, kid, so I don't know what you were, so the mother said, no, I'm not, alright, wait till you get to high school. Wait till you get to high school, okay? And then you'll try and get in with the cool crowd, okay? And when you try and get in with the cool crowd, you might have to start smoking. At first you think it's just going to be 1, it turns into 5, and then you're smoking all the time. You smoke your way to the top of the food chain, and then the pressure gets to you because you're cool and popular now. Once you're cool and popular at 15 years old, you start snorting cocaine. Yeah, you start snorting cocaine, little kid. You start snorting cocaine. And you think this will take the pressure off. It doesn't, it just adds to it. So you snort more cocaine, and then you kind of get a pain in your lower back, and you get a twinge in your neck. You realise you've got the bone density of a 50-year-old man. And once you realise that, little kid, you start taking other stuff to take the pain away. You start doing alcohol and glue and crystal meth. Yeah. And you think that'll take the pain away, but it's not going to take the pain away. It makes it worse. You alienate everyone around you. You alienate everyone who loves you or respects you. You scrape through school. You get into a university doing a course you don't care about, knowing that'll get you nowhere. And worst of all, you relive the pain by standing in front of 100 people you've never met, and you talk about it with a microphone. Don't you judge me, you arrogant little fuck! So then the mother said, yeah, then the mother said, well, of course you won't start smoking, little Jimmy. You have a mother that loves you. Fuck you, lady, you don't know me. I have a mother that loves me, somewhere. I've not seen my mum in 2 years. She went out to get carpet cleaner and never saw her again. Last time I saw her, she was jumping into a speedboat with sexy Spanish muscle dad. And they drove off down our road in a speedboat. Neighbours were livid. And, I was just thinking, it's like, Mum, why is sexy Spanish dad stole all of my money? I worked at a chippy to pay for that, and the carpet looks clean. The carpet looks plenty clean. I mean, Mummy, why have you gone? Where have you gone, Mummy? Where have you gone? Forgot I was on stage. Thought I was outside, away from here. So the other thing I've noticed about humanity, people are paranoid, aren't they, sir? People are paranoid. Don't look at me. People are paranoid these days. People are paranoid because if it's not America, it's the Russians, am I right? If it's not China, it's the Russians, am I right? If it's not here, it's the Russians. It's genuinely the Russians, isn't it? This sort of level. I dropped my cigarette. Yeah, it's people are paranoid, and I found out about people's paranoia. I found out the other day when I went to Iceland. I, again, was doing another weekly shop. No free bottle of wine, my hair's grown back. But I went to Iceland and did my weekly shop, and I took my shopping to the cashier, and I gave the cashier a £20 note, and she must have been rude, or disrespectful, or paranoid, because she put my £20 note under a UV scanner. And I'm like, yes, it's real. Yes, would I give you a fake £20 note? Would I give you a fake £20 note? Imagine that's my face. Would I give you a fake £20 note? Honestly, you, madam, are paranoid. You are. Tried this one. Would I give you a fake £20 note? Honestly, would I? So I did the only thing I could, and I rubbed the place. With this face. Didn't need a gun or a knife, just did that, and they cleared the store for me. Because that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a bad person. Not a criminal. I just look like a criminal, Your Honour. And I'm gonna go, because technically, this is a breach of my parole. Thank you, you've been great.
Jack Maidment there doing a set about the virtues of bullying. And his own, was it Hunky Spanish Dad?
Hunky Spanish Dad!
Is that how you said his name?
Yes.
You walk into a room, Hunky Spanish Dad! You go, hola, and they'd all high five. Other things that February the 19th could be is Watch the World Burn Day. That's the last day, isn't it? That's our last day. If the world is burning, we are too. That's Apocalypse Day. That's not probably the 19th. That's just like, man burning. That's not a funny thing to say. Oh, no, it hasn't fallen off. No shit. Okay, I'm going to do that. Oh God, my 7,052nd day alone, dear God. Who wrote this sad man? I think I actually recognise your handwriting, so I'm not going to call you out, but hugs for somebody who might be in the front row. Okay, oh, have you taken the picture down?
I have.
I wanted that picture forever. We put the picture up, we can put some sexy R&B music behind it. And then everyone's having a good time. Are you doing it now? Oh. Pushing a bunch of frogs into a pint glass and hitting it with a spade day. Is it the... Are you killing frogs? Is that what you people do now? Is this what you do for... So, hello, sorry Rihanna, you look very upset. Sorry, was that no, like, you're not upset and you want those froggy bastards to die? Or are you upset at the poor frogs? Yeah, loony left, isn't it? Don't know where that came from. National Picture of a Dick Day. Hot damn! How would that work? Hello, Tom. How would... Great, you're loud. How would National Picture of a Dick Day work, do you think?
Very lazily and unimpressively.
I meant the logistics of it. Are you finding a picture of a random dick, or are you taking a picture of your own, if you're a man, and then distributing it to whoever asks?
I think that's illegal.
I think it is too. Why did you say it, Tom?
It is and it should be.
Good. We'll start a committee after this.
Great.
Yeah, the National Dick Day Committee meeting will start about 5 minutes after the end of this set.
You want to just speak to me afterwards?
Yeah, he's the treasurer. National...
no money. Just...
National Wear a Bikini to Work Day. Siberia. So either Siberia has written in, which is nice of them, or this is specifically for the people of Siberia. Why do you have an issue with the people of Siberia? What have they done wrong? Unless something bad has happened in the news, and I don't know. Have they done a murder? I hope they haven't done a murder. You know what you're missing by coming here, by the way? The EastEnders live episode, where the reveal of, I think, Lauren Beale's killer is being broadcast right now. Lucy Beale. Jack's watching it right now on that laptop. So what I'll do is, I'll look up who the killer is, and then by the end of this I will tell you. Yeah? Oh man! Got a fan! We'll do one more before I bring in my last act, which is, have as much respect for the Pope as we have for... Actually, I'm not doing that one. That got very bad very quickly. The day celebrating days which celebrate something. Fuck you. Right, we'll get our last act on. So I'm going to pick Rihanna. You seem like you don't want to do this. So Rihanna, what I'm going to do is I'll point at you, you will clap, you will stand up, and then everybody else will join in. Yep, this is the last time to do this. So without further ado, Rihanna.
So I've written a poem about soil. 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 Soil is brown. That makes me frown. But that is not enough to spoil the soil. For soil comes from the ground. The ground is round, and coffee is ground. Therefore, soil is coffee. I think you will agree, Offie. Speaking of coffee, I once had a cup of coffee that could talk to dead people. Medium latte. I went to Starbucks the other day, and the man behind the counter was wearing these special barista trousers. Cappuccinos. It wasn't actually a coffee house, it was a co-op. And the man behind the counter was a barrister, not a barista. He did serve me, though. I love to go outside, mate. I love to go outside. The other day I was on a walk, and this sheep called me a bellend. I was just walking along, minding my own business, and the sheep just looked me straight in the eye and says, "Bellend." Well, fuck you, you. How far is a mile? I mean, does anybody actually know how far it is? Whenever somebody asks me a distance, I just pull a random number out my arse between 3 and 12. How far is it to the garage? It's just a few miles. How far is it to Hungary? 12? 12 miles. How far is it to the moon? Well, it's further than Hungary. Timbuktu. Not as good as Timbuk 1. Miles better than Timbuk Origins. I've always had terrible hearing. I could never understand why the nuns invaded half of Europe. They must have really settled down after Attila died. A co-worker of mine once explained to me what the laminator was doing to the paper. It was encapsulating. Bit of a sweet laminator joke there for all you laminator fans. I went golfing with the same co-worker. We got to the receptionist said, "So, do you want to join the golf club?" I declined. I don't think I'd fit in the bag. Golfing isn't the only thing I like to do to keep healthy. I also make sure I maintain a healthy diet. For example, I always make sure I have 3 square meals a day, except on weekends when I have 2 circles and a triangle. I went to the spice doctor's the other day. When the doctor wants the next patient, he shouts, "Cumin?" I was waiting for ages. When I finally got to the doctor, I said, "About time." He kicked me out. Time's a herb. So it's Valentine's Day recently. And somebody actually offered to go out on a date with me if I cleared out their vermin infestation. I turned them down. 'Cause I would do anything for love, but I won't kill rats. So yeah, I'm looking for love. He's a brown cocker spaniel. If anybody sees him, I'd be eternally grateful. Who am I kidding? He's not coming back. Not after he stepped on that landmine. Really brought a new meaning to the song, "Love is All Around Me." I miss that dog. I love animals, mate. I love animals. They do have these strange habits. For example, my stallion loves starters, whereas my friend's pony likes dessert. Well, courses for horses. I went to Horsetown recently. Lovely place, lovely place. Highlight of my visit was meeting the mayor. So, I've been reading about these things called anti-jokes on the internet. You know, anti-jokes. So I thought I'd come up with one of my own. I love my auntie. I also love Aunt A, Aunt B, Aunt C. Aunt D's a dick. My mum asked me why I bought a load of toy horses. "You said I needed a hobby!" I got into a fight with my parents. I mean, I wanted to go out, but they wouldn't let me, and they started talking about how I was an adult now, and I shouldn't need lifts everywhere, and how I should start taking on my own responsibilities. So I attacked them with a broadsword. Problem with that joke is that broadsword massacres aren't actually very funny, which is odd. My cousin was involved in a broadsword rampage, and she lost her head laughing. Or screaming, I can never remember. I got some new soap for my bathroom recently. It's chocolate orange flavoured. Now, every time I take a shit, I think of Christmas. And the inevitable fight that takes place over that piece in the middle, while I sit in the corner, taking a shit. Until recently, I thought Margaret Thatcher was just a lady who'd do you a nice medieval roof. Speaking of Thatcher, I have a theory about what really happened with the miners' strikes. Mining was actually a perfect meritocracy, so by the 1980s, all of the prominent miners were canaries who worked their way up through the ranks. They weren't actually on strike, they just couldn't use the tools with their tiny little wings. Here's an edgy joke for you. A dodecagon walks into a bar. I'll tell you what, fruit machines are really misleading. I went on one the other day and it gave me £5 grand. I wanted a banana. I was playing a game on my computer, and there was this bug that meant the character's shoes kept falling off. Naturally, I had to reboot. I really do think we need a more innovative method for administering drugs. I mean, lots of people don't bother taking medicine when they're ill. And what we need to do is we need to make drugs cool again. So I thought to myself, what's cool? Smoking's cool. I propose drugarettes. Asthma giving you a problem? Why not try an inhalerette? Headache? Paracetamol? Baby, not feeling so well? How about a Calpol cigar? Wah, wah. Oh, that's one good cigar. Thank you very much, I'm an Dearden.
And if nothing else tonight, you can say you watched a grown man attempting to be a smoking baby. Well, that comes to the end of the show. I was going to try and find out who killed Lucy, Lauren, which one.
Do you want me to Google it?
No, I did Google it as that set happened, and the results are inconclusive. The episode is still on. So, what I've done, guys, is promised everything and fucked up, which... maybe that's what February the 19th should be all about, yeah? We've all learnt a lesson, we've all wandered as people. But sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Don't know where that came from. That's what I'm ending you on. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you to my actor, Mr. Andrew McKendrick, Mr. Jim Huxter, Mr. Ed Colley, Mr. Jack Duncan, and Mr. Ed Dearden. Thank you very much. We'll be back here in 2 weeks with the Lancaster Comedy Club. If you enjoyed coming to this show, why not join the Lancaster University Comedy Institute? We meet on Fridays, thank you. But Fridays at 6, I'm in charge of the meetings, well, I don't know. We meet Fridays at 6, we'll be in room, Boland's North Seminar room 20 tomorrow, if you want to come on down. And then also, if you want to see some cool drama, young Michael Dodds here, who we all got to see dance, is in a play called Not Safe for Work, which is on tomorrow at 7:30. It is also on Saturday at 7:30. But there is also a cheaper matinee performance on at 2:30. Did I get it right?
Yep.
There we go. At the Dukes, yeah. Damn, I'm getting paid. But yeah, thank you very much. Well, I'm thanking you. You danced, well done. But thank you very much for coming. Hopefully see you in 2 weeks. Good night.